Good evening, everybody. For a few of you, it's good morning. In today's session, our topic is the law of attraction. And we have special guest. The guest name is Ms Kavita. She is from Manila, Philippines. She is basically from Malaysia, now staying in Philippines, settled in Philippines. Actually, she is a corporate trainer. She started her career in Dale Carnegie Institute as a certified trainer. She is into corporate training. She is an amazing motivational speaker, conducting workshops, webinars, certified workshops, almost all of them related to self-development and personality development. And just recently, I came to know about her. And when we requested, she immediately accepted to give the session. We're really happy for that. We're really thankful to Kavita Madam for accepting our sincere request. Now I request Ms. Kavita to start the session.
Thank you, Srinivas. Hello, everybody. It's a wonderful evening, and thank you for being here. I'm not very good with the camera, so it's going to be here and there. So I hope you bear with me. The topic for today is law of attraction. Now, what I'm going to do today is, I do understand that some of you are Hooponopono practitioners, and you know what it is. So I'm going to take you down a journey, a different journey down law of attraction. Now, you might have heard of the usual lane of law of attraction, what it is, how to attract what you desire, so on and so forth. So I'm gonna go down that path, but at the same time, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to deviate slightly into explaining to you, before you get the law of attraction to work for you, what do you need to do? So this is where most of us leave out, because the law of attraction is there. It is a law. It is available for everyone. It's available to us freely. But what happens along the way is that we discover the fact that it works for one person and it doesn't work for the other. And we want to know why. And it's important to know why, because the law is freely available. And we just want to make sure that all of us are able to tap into that energy. All right, so let's start with an intro of what the law of attraction is. Now, it's basically very simple. It says that which is like into yourself is drawn, meaning you have a thought, you think of something, you have a thought, that thought radiates a signal. So when it radiates a signal, it vibrates. Now, it's very easy to explain this. If you think of a radio, you know, not what you get today, but you know, those that we used to tune into the frequency. So when your thought is where you're going to tune, and when you tune into, for example, your intent, or rather what you want to manifest is, say, 98.6 FM, for example, and you are tuning into 98.2. So what happens is you're not able to achieve a vibrational harmony. You're getting the idea. What it says is your thoughts, which is that frequency, for example, say 98.6, but you're tuning into 98.2, meaning that you're not channeling it well. So when you're not channeling it well, you're not achieving what we call a vibrational harmony. So the law of attraction works this way. Okay, we have to seek to achieve vibrational harmony. How? I'm going to take you through the teachings of Abraham Hicks. Why I chose to go with Abraham Hicks, I know there are numerous teachings out there, Joe Vitale mainly, but why I actually chose Abraham Hicks is most of us laymen could relate to these teachings because it focuses on how you feel. It focuses on emotions. It focuses on emotions. So I'm going to take you down to the teachings of Abraham Hicks in a very brief way. Yeah. So as I was speaking, sorry, let's get the next slide up. Okay. So now you must have heard the phrase, be careful what you wish for, right? Because it could have been just a phrase, but if you think about it, law of attraction says, whatever you give your attention to emits a vibration. Okay, so it could be, even if you're worrying, you're emitting a vibration. You're sending out a vibration. So let's talk about what is this vibration. Okay, so vibrations comes in the form of thoughts. All right, so when you're worrying, you're planning. Okay, so it is what I call thoughts are units of mental energy. It can never be created or destroyed. So it is a constant energy that is constantly vibrating. So when we say law of attraction, what we seek to achieve is our thoughts and the vibration to come into harmony. So that's the reason why we say be careful what you wish for, because even if you wish for the positive, or even if you wish for the negative, it's there. It's vibrating. It's a thought. And for example, if you said, oh, if you were to look at someone and if you were to say, oh, I wish him dead, and you're actually feeling that anger or feeling that, well, possibly it could come through because you're vibrating at that level. Okay, and many of us vibrate at a level where we ourselves don't understand. So it's a scary thought. It's really a scary thought because when you vibrate or when your thoughts begin to vibrate, be it positive, be it negative, you're going to get it. All right. So the next thing I would like to talk about here is something called point of attention, meaning if you need to know what you're going to manifest. You need to know what you're going to attract into your life. So for example, if you desire something. So my question to you is, when you desire something, where is your attention? Is your attention to the absence of the desire, or rather the lack of the desire, or the excitement and the joy that that particular manifestation or the point of attention that you want to bring into manifestation into your lives? So where is your attention? So most times what we do is we give our attention to the lack of desire. Oh, I wish I had this. Oh, I wish I had that. So when you say I wish or I hope to be, what you're doing is you're giving attention to the lack of desire. Now, when that happens, the lack of desire manifests as an intention. That is your point of attention. So when that point of attention vibrates, you achieve vibrational harmony because your emotions and that point of attention, which is I wish, I hope, I was there, I was this, it brings you things that you do not want to manifest in the first place, or you simply don't get there because there's an interruption with your vibration. All right. So the teachings of Abraham Hicks follows very closely, or rather explains very clearly about our emotions, how we feel about a particular idea. Okay, so how your mind works, we need to understand when we talk about law of attraction, it's so important to understand how your mind works. Okay, so your mind, okay, reacts, or rather it is something that when you give an auto suggestion, you will discover that you have this conscious and a subconscious mind. Okay, so when you change your thoughts, okay, you change the way you think automatically. So for example, if you think positive, your actions will be positive. If you think negative, your actions will be negative. Okay, remember, we are all connected to this power. The power that is freely available, the energy, we are all connected to it. It didn't just create us and walked away. That did not happen. It's freely available. But we have something that we battle with every single day, which is called thoughts. So we need to keep our thoughts in control with what we want to manifest, with our desires, with our point of attention. So Abraham Hicks explains this very clearly. Okay, he says, when you want to achieve or bring something into your experience, again, I reiterate the word vibrational harmony, meaning your thoughts need to vibrate. Your thought emits a signal. That signal needs to vibrate at the correct vibration or the correct frequency in order to achieve what you want. Now, how does that happen? It goes with how you feel. So when you want to say, for example, I want to have $1,000 by the end of the month. Okay, you want to manifest $1,000, but deep inside of you, you're thinking, how is that even possible? You know, how is that even possible for me to get $1,000? Who's going to give it to me? Where is it going to come from? So when you work on self-doubt, what happens is it gets disrupted and it never comes into your experience. Okay, so how do you achieve vibrational harmony? Okay, so one way, there are numerous ways you can do this, but one way, a way that is easy, a way that it works, is to be like a child. Okay, remember during when we were little, we used to play make believe, right? We imagine, we pretend, you pretend if your ambition is a pilot, you pretend to be a pilot, you dress like one, you talk like one, you walk like one, so this is where we go back to our childlike thoughts, where we begin to imagine and pretend that you're already it, that is already in your experience. Okay, so you need to pay attention to how you feel. Okay, you need to pay attention to the desire that you want to manifest and not the absence of the desire. All right, so you need to be consciously aware of how you feel. This is what I call the emotional guidance system, meaning that whatever you want to manifest, you have to ensure that you're feeling good about it. Okay, you that this particular desire that you have, you're so excited about it. When you think about it, you're elevated, you're energized. When you feel that, when you literally feel that, you're vibrating in accordance to your point of attention, meaning what you want to desire. So the emotional guidance system is your guide to manifest anything in your life, based on Abraham Hicks' teaching. Okay, so moving on, you need to understand this, okay, that you are consciousness. You are the energy, you are the vibration, and you are the creator. There's no external forces. Okay, it is all you and your emotional guiding system. All right, so when we talk about when we talk about conscious mind and subconscious mind, you need to understand that there is a difference. There is a huge difference between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. So what is the actual difference between your conscious and your subconscious mind? Now, your conscious mind is basically the objective mind, meaning that it basically talks about it's a real mind. Okay, so it helps you. It is a mind that you use every day for reasoning, to debate your whatever that's happening to you. Whereas your subconscious mind basically works differently. Okay, so I'm gonna like look at it in our next. Okay, so now, power of the subconscious. It is very, very important to understand before we go into the law of attraction. It's very, very important to understand what it means to unleash the power of the subconscious mind. Okay, so understanding of its power of the subconscious mind will unleash joy, okay, happiness, wealth, the truth that you already possess, whatever that you were. If you are aware of Hooponopono, you will realize that everything is memory. All right, everything is memory. So when you work with memory and whatever experiences that is going to come into your life, you will understand that everything is there in the subconscious mind. So what happens right now is whether the problem with your subconscious mind is that it doesn't understand what is right and what is wrong. Okay, sorry, I'm just getting my cards in place. All right, so your subconscious mind doesn't know what is right, what is wrong. It doesn't debate with you. It's like let me give you an example. It's like a soil. It's like soil. It takes in whatever seed you feed it, right? If you feed it a mango seed, it grows a mango tree. If you feed it an apple seed, it grows up an apple tree. It doesn't question. So your subconscious mind is that way. Your subconscious mind takes orders you give it. It does not ask questions. If you say to yourself, oh, I don't think I can afford the car for that vacation, well, you won't be able to afford it because that's the seed you feed your subconscious mind. Okay, so back to the other slide, the last slide. Okay, let's keep it here. Now, so you need to understand the duality of your mind, the conscious and the subconscious. Knowing how these two attract is crucial for manifestation. All right. So when you deposit constructive, harmonious, peaceful thoughts into your subconscious, you change your external conditions, you change the cause. Okay. The cause is how you use your conscious mind. So you feed your subconscious mind with all these constructive, harmonious, joyful, peaceful thoughts. Your actions, which is governed by your conscious mind, follows through. Okay, so let me give you an example for you to understand that. Okay, the conscious mind is like a navigator of a ship, the captain of a ship. Okay, he directs the ship, signals to the man in the engine room, and this engine room, this men in the engine room just take orders. They're not aware of the direction, where they are, or whatsoever. They just take orders from the captain, which represents the conscious mind. Okay, so the captain, the conscious mind, is the master of the ship. Okay, so the ship represents, what does it represent? It represents your body. your environment, your experiences. Okay, so that is, so your captain, your conscious mind, speaks to the subconscious mind and gives it orders. And what does the subconscious mind do? It basically acts like those guys in the engine room, right? They just take orders, no question asked. They'll do whatever it takes to get you into your destination. They do not debate what is true. They do not debate what is false. Okay? Because the conscious mind only the conscious mind is the reasoning mind. Is the phase of the mind that chooses. It chooses your actions. All right? And you have choices. Choices comes from your conscious mind. Okay, because you're the captain of your ship. You're the captain of your body, your environment, your experiences, the people that you talk to, the people that you associate with. You are the conscious mind, meaning you're the captain of the ship. And what do? You feed those information to the engine room guys, which is your subconscious mind. You feed them with whatever that they need to know. You feed them anger, you radiate anger. You feed them depression, you radiate depression. You feed them joy and happiness, you radiate joy and happiness. So remember, the subconscious mind does not reason. Always think of it as the soil. It takes in whatever seed, any kind of seed, whether it's good, bad, true, false, your subconscious just soaks it all in. All right. So your conscious mind is the objective mind. Your subconscious mind is the subjective mind. Okay. It perceives by what I call intuition. We will come back to that later on the part of intuition. Okay. So you must understand infinite intelligence. All right. Let me say the word again. Infinite intelligence is within your subconscious mind. It can reveal to you everything you need to know, provided you're open-minded and receptive. That is where we have, we have things like hypnosis. We have things like meditation. All right, because it works, your subconscious works according to the law of belief, right? Because the law of your mind itself is the law of belief. So if you have fed your mind, okay, your belief is influenced by your culture, superstition, astrological charts, and blah, 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 blah. That's how your life is going to turn out because you are navigating it. What you feed is what is going to radiate outside. So for example, the conscious you says, oh, I don't think I can afford this. You look at a car, you look at a beautiful house and say, nah, no way I'm going to afford that. What are you doing? You're planting a seed in your subconscious mind. It doesn't know that it's a bad seed. It doesn't know that it says you can't afford it. Can't afford it. It's a negative. It's negative. If you say can't afford, it's a negative affirmation. But does your subconscious know about it? No. So you continuously feed your subconscious with negative self-talk. Okay. And then your conscious says, you said it. All right. So the subconscious tells you, okay, you said it. What happens now? You will act on it. So you begin to experience the lack. All right. So remember very clearly, before you begin to even understand the law of attraction, or even before you bring it into your practice, you need to understand how your subconscious, your conscious and your subconscious communicate. It's very, very important, okay? Because your subconscious takes you at your word. It doesn't debate. So be very, very careful what you feed your subconscious. Next. Let's go to the next slide. Now, I'm going to talk about when we talk about these things, when we talk about coming later, of course, all of you would know what law of attraction is. And we're going to be talking about, affirmations. I just said about words, right? Usually you feed your subconscious with words. All right. So now I'm going to talk to you about the power of words, because it's no point of me telling you, okay, guys, this is the technique that you're going to use for law of attraction, blah, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to flash it on the screen. But then I don't tell you the basics of it. Okay, so I can tell you, okay, write affirmations, say 16 times a day. All right, so you do it. Yeah, I check it for you, and you do it 16 times a day, diligently, without fail. You keep on doing it. The moment you close your affirmation, you go like, you know what, life is miserable. You know what, I hate this place. You know what, I hate my job. I hate my boss. Life is hard. So when you do affirmations and then on the side, you're saying all these things, although it's not in your book of affirmations, although you know very well that your affirmations should be positive. You've written every single positive word that you could possibly find. But the moment you close your affirmation book, what happens? You go and say, life is miserable. Oh, life is hard. Oh, money is bad. So what happens? That's where we're going to talk about the power of words. Now, Dr. Masani Emoto, he's a researcher from, he's actually an alternative healer from Japan. Okay, and he specifically studied the power of words. He used rice. Okay, but I'm going to use those bread because I've conducted workshops where I've told my participants to do this. Okay, what they do is they take slices of bread, okay, and then they put it in a Ziploc bag, and every day they write there's positive words, negative words, positive words, not so negative words, extremely negative words. For example, positive words like I love you, negative words like oh, I hate you, and probably something like oh, I dread you, whatever it is, right? So these three things. So and a couple of days later, when you check, okay, Dr. Masari Emoto used rice, and you would notice that he used rice, but one of his most famous experiment, that is, you can even Google it, is called the water experiment. Okay, he exposed water to positive words, and he actually studied the crystals, the formation of those crystals. So you will notice that when he used positive words, the crystals were beautiful. When you use negative words, the crystals were all distorted. Like, for example, you make me sick, or you look ugly, or you're fat, So all these things, what I'm trying to tell you is, it goes back to what we have learned. It goes back to auto-suggestion. So when you look at yourself, ladies, when you look yourself into a mirror and you say, oh my gosh, I am fat. Fat is going to come looking for you. Oh, I'm ugly. Wrinkles is going to come looking for you. I'm not saying wrinkles is ugly, but again, wrinkles is going to come looking for you, right? Oh, I don't deserve love. Yeah, well, then you don't deserve love. So universe says, okay, fine. Subconscious says, all right, I'm not going to bring you anybody to love, right? So good words. So what's the moral of the story? Good words make you feel good. So when you feel good, what happens to you? You're vibrating at a higher energy. Okay, you are vibrating at what I'm going to come to later called manifestor consciousness. All right, so that's where we all want to get. Before we even practice law of attraction, we need to understand what these are. We need to operate at manifester consciousness, meaning good words. Good words make you feel energized, make you feel good. It raises your vibration. When it raises your vibration, attention radiates a signal, thought radiates a signal, point of attention comes in vibrational harmony. When you get vibrational harmony, what happens? Law of attraction works for you. Whatever that you are manifesting comes back to you. So I'm going to talk about the 2 words that could change your life forever. I'm sure everybody going to, what? Is that true? Is there 2 words that could change my life forever? Yeah, there is. There is. All right. It's called I am, and it is well. So I'm going to talk to you about the power of I am. Okay. The power of I am says, whatever follows the I am will eventually find you. That means if you say, I am so clumsy, clumsiness comes looking for you. I am so fat, weight gain comes looking for you. Okay, but if you say, I am beautiful, ladies, listen to this. I am beautiful. Look into the mirror every day and say, I am beautiful. All right, feel it. Feel that you're beautiful. So I am beautiful. What happens? Beauty and youth comes looking for you. But of course, you have to feel it, right? The I am only uses words, but feelings is a whole different story. Okay, but what I'm suggesting is when you auto-suggest positive words, what happens? Your vibration becomes better. When you tell yourself good things, oh, I love myself, self-love. It all begins with self-love. So the great news is, okay, the great news about this I am, which is very much in your control, is you choose the words that follow the I am. You can choose the words. So when you choose the words, your I am becomes very powerful. You get to choose. It's not governed by an external force. It's you. So when you say what I am, what eventually follows finds you. So be careful of, be very, very conscious of your words, because it will find you. Scary thought, but that's what the law is. All right. So now let's look at before I go to it is well, okay, you must understand words have creative power. That is what the experiment, the rice experiment, the bread experiment, the water experiment tells you. The moral of this, you can use whatever, water, bread, rice, try it. You know, I challenge you to try it at home. Try this experiment at home. You will be amazed at how words have creative power. So never say negative words about yourself. Never say negative words about somebody else, your kids, your partner, your neighbors, whatever. Because, and if you feel something negative is coming out of your mouth, zip it. That will be my advice. You know, you will just skip it. So you need to start blessing your life. Okay, start blessing your life. I am blessed. You know, I am at peace. I enjoy being alive. You know, so bless your life. At the same time, bless others' life. So what I'm trying to say is put a watch over your mouth, because words are powerful. All right. So what are we going to do? Talk about next? It is well. Now, what does it say? It is well. If you have watched the movie, I mean, all of us are Indians here, so I'm sure you would have watched the movie 3 Idiots, where they say all is well, all is well. I mean, there is a truth behind that, you know, because what he basically says is every day right now we are all exposed to a world of chaos. It's all doom and gloom out there. Okay, so when you focus on that doom and gloom, well, of course, we don't have a choice. It's reality. But like I said, you can choose this. you can make a conscious choice, because this is where your conscious mind is operating. Okay, you need the help of your conscious mind to get through this, because your conscious mind is operating at this level. And what does your conscious mind do? It helps you make choices. Say, for example, especially when at this time, money is so important. Don't say I'm broke. I have no money. I'm doomed. So what are you doing is you're inviting struggle and lack. Okay, although all day your I am is at work. Always remember, all day your I am is at work. So you need to quit focusing on the flaws and remember that you're a wonderful being in creation. So I'm just going to give a little pause here. Srinivas, do we have any questions so far?
Yes.
Okay.
I request all of you.
Yeah, can we just address that if there is any before I go on?
I request all of you, if any of you have any questions, feel free to ask. You can unmute yourself or you can mention in the chat.
Anybody wants to ask me anything right now, because it's so important for you to understand this before we actually move forward. So I would appreciate you asking me any questions at all, please, before we move on.
Anybody has any questions?
I see some comments on the chat. Okay, Sharmila, you have asked me, how do we overcome subconscious resistance? Well, it's hard. You have techniques like meditation. You have techniques like Hooponopono to overcome subconscious resistance. And the most effective way of overcoming subconscious resistance is, based on my experience, is always auto-suggestions. That means you're consciously aware of your thoughts. So when you feed the wrong thought to your subconscious, that means you feed a wrong seed, it will manifest on your conscious mind. So the resistance, to avoid resistance, is basically to be conscious about what you say and how you feel. You need to tap into your emotional guidance system. Now, as we go on, it's a huge topic, resistance of subconscious, something that I will not be able to cover today. But one thing I can tell you is Hooponopono and meditation works excellently for resistance of the subconscious. That's what I would say, Sample of auto-suggestions. Positive auto-suggestions is what I just said, the I ams. I am wonderful. I am happy. I am joyous. I can do anything. I can do anything. I am happy. I am loved. Those are auto-suggestions. Positive auto-suggestions. Yeah. And of course, your subconscious mind, resistance, prayers work amazingly. For those who believe that there is a higher power above us, prayers work amazingly. Yeah. So that's one thing.
Namaste, madam.
Yeah.
I am Nagabhushan. Namaste.
Yes, sir. Please continue.
My question is how to
Yeah.
tune to the vibration. Is it only for taking the positive affirmation or any other way to tune to the vibration, law of attraction vibration?
Okay. Tuning into the vibration is what I call the emotional guidance system. Your vibration is always very closely connected, or rather it is connected to your emotions. For example, now, if you say, if you say, I am a millionaire, okay, for example, you say, I am a millionaire, but you're not feeling it, because at the back of your head, you already know it's not possible for you to be a millionaire. Okay. Let me give you another example. I am the president of, I want to be the president of the United States. I am the president of the United States. Now, the back of your head, you already know it's not possible. So what happens is you're not coming into harmony with it. You're already feeling that it's not right. It's not happening. So you need to use how to get into vibrational harmony is to be conscious of your emotions. How do you feel about that particular thing that you want to attract into your life? How do you feel about it? Does it excite you? Does it upset you? So you need to be connected very well to your emotions. That's how you achieve your thought. And your thought, yes, exactly, Charu. Set realistic goals. That's what it is. You have to set realistic goals and say that is the problem with affirmations. You need to be realistic. We're going to cover that later. You need to be realistic. So when you're realistic, your emotions, your thoughts, your emotionals will match. When it matches, it achieves a harmony. When it achieves a harmony, it vibrates at a higher level, and boom, you get your manifestation. That's how it works.
Hi, Kavita.
Hi.
And thank you, madam.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope that helped. I hope that helps.
Yeah. Hi, Kavita. I'm Charu here.
Yes,
And
Charu.
thank you for talking about Abraham Hicks. I'm like a big fan of.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my question basically is, see, we all know that the subconscious cannot differentiate between an imagination and a reality. Whatever you might feed, the subconscious is what it's going to accept, and
Yes.
that's where the conscious plays a part, in making it
Yeah.
where the doubt comes in and where
Yeah.
we start questioning.
Yeah.
So how seamless can we make the journey of being able to actually reach out to our subconscious without letting the conscious interfere with what we want to manifest? Because at least in my personal life, I find that I doubt a lot. Like,
Right.
I do affirm, and
Right.
like you said, the back of my mind, it's like, okay, because
Right.
I'm a negative person by nature, I'm a pessimist. So for me, affirmations really don't work. So that's
Right.
one question. My second question to you is, I've had a quite a disturbing childhood. Okay, so I wanted to know how I can use my inner child healing through Hooponopono. Okay, so I read that somewhere. So I want to know how I can heal my inner child using the prayer. So yeah, over to you.
I will answer your first one. So the first one, see, I was going to talk about three steps. Okay, first is to be aware of where you are at a conscious level. So we're going to talk about victim consciousness, manifestor consciousness, and channel consciousness. Now, the question that you're asking, how do we disconnect the subconscious and the conscious, is where your channel consciousness comes in. Now, that happens, it's through very deep meditation. Okay, I mean, that's my experience. When you want to disconnect from the subconscious and the conscious, you have to come to a point where your mind is it's called 0.0. So if you study Hooponopono, this is something Abraham Hicks mentions, but doesn't go very much in detail. So that is where we come to a point where it's called 0.0. That is where our mind, our conscious and our subconscious, it's not like we stop the communication. It doesn't really depend too much on each other, because what we have come to a point where we are still now. We are still a point where we just wait and let things happen, to let go, to surrender. Now, it takes a lot of effort to get there, and that is where Hooponopono comes in. See, Hooponopono, I will not go in detail because I think Srinivas is doing a inner child this thing right soon, right, Srinivas?
Yes, right.
Yes. So I think we would be able to get a lot of insight from there, because I think when we talk about the inner child, go to Srinivas's talk, because I think it's very, very important to know how your inner child works and how you can heal your childhood. Firstly, of course, we connect to the inner child. And if you move away from Hooponopono, I have used hypnosis on some people to get into recovery of childhood trauma. So that's a big debate, or rather a big topic for another day, Sharu. What you can do is, if you have any further questions like this, I could probably help you with Srinivas's permission. Srinivas,
Yes, please.
if she wants further information, Sharu can always buzz me. So you can I mean, especially in the area of hypnosis and stuff like that on childhood trauma. So I can probably help a little bit with that. Yeah, Sharu, is that okay?
Yeah, thank you so
Because
much.
it's a huge
Kavita.
topic. It's a huge
Yeah.
topic, what you've just asked. We will not have that time to go into that. Maybe if I were to get another chance to have some time with you guys again, then maybe we can talk about how do we overcome this childhood traumas through hypnosis, through positive suggestions, reinforcement, and things like that.
Yeah, because we do realize, like, most of us are aware of what issues we have, but
Yeah.
we don't seem to know the right tools to use, to
Correct.
heal ourselves.
Yes.
So that's where we
Yes.
all get stuck. So
Correct.
yeah, I will reach out to you and we'll
Sure.
figure it out. Thank you,
Sure.
Kavita.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, so if we can just continue. I could get back to all those questions right after the session. So Srinivas, can we continue?
Sure, please.
Yeah, okay. So let's go to the next one. Okay, now I'm going to talk about deliberate intent. So meaning that I already basically touched on that. That means you, first of all, before you could even manifest first of all, even before you could even, work the law of attraction to your benefit or use the law to your benefit, you need to know what are you attracting. Okay, there's a difference between a want and a difference between a need. So is it something you want or is it something you need? So you need to be very specific. Okay, so when you send a message across to the universe, which is what law of attraction is, you're actually sending a message across. You need to be very specific. Is it a want or is that a need? All right. So deliberate intent is the power of attention. When you set an intention in your mind, okay, this is what I want, and you're specific about it, and it aligns with how you feel about it. When you vibrate at harmony, it comes into your manifestation. So you need to know that you need to have an intention. So whether it's a want or whether there is a need. So you need to be very specific. All right. So let's go to the next one. All right. So your current thinking, for example, this is what I was saying earlier. Your current thinking, okay, which is basically influenced by a lot of things, how you were brought up, your parents, your experiences, your culture, your faith, your religion, okay, certain practices that has been brought down from generations, gives birth to 3 states of consciousness. The first state is called victim consciousness. Second, manifestor consciousness. And third, channel consciousness. Now, you need to be aware of where you are at these conscious levels. Where are you? At which state? Before you could even begin any kind of manifestation. If you do not know where you are at this stage, manifestation becomes a struggle. It just becomes, you would notice that for some people it just doesn't work and they give up halfway. That's why you see some people are doing affirmations and then halfway they give up. Because you need to be aware. I reiterate the word aware because it's very, very important to know at which stage you are before you begin to manifest, before any kind of manifestation can begin. All right. So let's talk about victim consciousness. Okay, what does victim consciousness mean? Victim consciousness means life is being done to me by it. That means a state of to me, meaning something outside of me is controlling my destiny. That means it could be the devil, it could be God, it could be my rotten DNA, it could be my astrological chart. Something outside of me is controlling my destiny. That is the thought. Okay, that is your consciousness. That means you're blaming everybody. You know, oh, I'm like this because my parents were like that. I am like this because I am in this situation. I am like this because of that. I'm like this because of that. It's never about you. So victim consciousness is basically constantly blaming your current situation, pointing fingers. So this is what I say, you don't take any accountability or responsibility to your life. You don't take any kind of responsibility or accountability. And let me tell you, when you study the art of manifestation and the art of allowing, when you don't take accountability for your actions, no manifestation can happen. That is the law. If you are constantly blaming and pointing fingers, no manifestation can happen. That is the law. So if you are constantly blaming others, even at your present state, you're constantly blaming others for your condition or for your present situation, you're not going to get any manifestation happening no matter what you do. No matter, even if you were to write affirmations every day, you were to do meditation, you do your Hooponopono, you went for hypnosis, and whatever it takes, all the tools of manifestation you have used, trust me, it's not going to work if you are at this stage. So it's very important for you to be aware. All right. So how do you be aware of, to ensure that you're not in this victim consciousness? So you need to make sure that your surrounding, okay, what shapes your collective mind? You need to know what shapes your collective mind. Let me give you an example. Like, I think we have this belief everywhere, everywhere. Or if a black cat crosses my path, that's it, I'm doomed. And oh, this virus is here because it's going to punish Earth and humanity. So that has shaped your collective mind. So that behavior is like you're constantly trying to find something to explain your current situation. And usually it is not very good. Okay, so you need to get out of this. You need to get out of this victim consciousness. Now, how do you get out from this victim consciousness? It's something I call art of inquiry. Now, what is the art of inquiry? That means you question. Instead of moving from, oh, this happened to me, that happened to me, blah, 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 you would say, if this has happened to me, what is it here to teach me? Is there something that I can do to make this better? Is there something that I can change about myself to make it better? So this is what I call the art of inquiry. So you begin to question. You begin to question that situation that has happened to you. Why did it happen? Is it there? Is it something? Not why, like, oh, why does it have to happen to me? Not that kind of why, but a why that would get you out of this victim consciousness. Because it's really not good to be at victim consciousness, because you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. So you need to get out of that. Yeah. All right. So moving on, we move to manifester. When you move out from victim consciousness, when you come to a point where you use art of inquiry to ask yourself transformational questions, like, for example, how can I make this better? What is it that is here to teach me? What can I do about this? Is there something that I could change about myself? So when you begin to do that, you slowly move to what we call a manifestor consciousness. Manifestor consciousness is basically, I make it happen. To it by me. That's what it says. Okay. So that means you take responsibility, you take accountability for whatever that is coming your way, whatever experiences, whatever good or bad, you take accountability to it. Okay. When you in manifestor consciousness, what happens? You grow deeper roots into your true nature. Okay, you do self-reflective exercises. Okay, like I mentioned earlier, thoughts are mental, they are units of energy. Okay, so at manifestor consciousness, your thoughts and your thoughts manifest, or rather vibrate at the same level. It vibrates in harmony. Okay, it basically channels this positive energy to your mental, physical, spiritual activities. Okay, so what happens? Energy increases, vibration increases, vibration harmony happens, it forms your experiences. So this is where we want to be. Most of us, this is where we have to, we want to be. From victim consciousness, we move to manifestor consciousness. Now, this is where we want to be. All right, this is where we should be, where there is a flow of healthy, thoughts begin to flow in a very healthy direction. Okay, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, thoughts begin to flow in a very healthy direction. Yeah, okay. So moving on. Okay, we done that already. Move on. Next one. The next one is repeating, no? Okay, so now we go to tools of manifestation. All right, this is what I think all of us want to know. Okay, but let me tell you one thing. You cannot fool your subconscious mind. There's no way you can fool your subconscious mind. Okay, you can't plant an apple seed and then say, oh, it's going to grow oranges. You can't plant, you can't plant, say, a tulsi plant and you think that you're going to get a mango tree. So you can't fool your subconscious. All right. So let's talk about something I called power of affirmation. See, everybody knows what are affirmations. Now, does everyone know what are affirmations? Everybody knows what's affirmations? Okay. No, okay.
Yes, almost everybody,
okay.
few of us know.
Okay, wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. Okay. Affirmations are basically positive talk. All right. Whether you write it down, you're listening to it, or you're silently reading it, it is everything that is positive. Okay, let me bring to you let me direct your attention to a brain study. Okay, now what our brain from a study by a scientist, I forgot his name, there are 3 lobes to the brain. Okay, one that registers, one that hears, and one that looks into what you read. Okay, so firstly, power of affirmations is what this person did was, instead of doing all that writing whatsoever, an experiment was done where she writes down her affirmations. Okay, listen very carefully. This is very important because this technique of manifestation worked better than just writing it down. Okay, so what happens was she wrote it down, whether it's 16 times, or you can do the 369, or you can do the 555. She writes it down. Then what she does, she records and she listens to it. And after that, what she does, she reads it silently. So in her, and from what she noticed, okay, it became what to say, it was more effective. All right, it became more effective. So I'm going to go briefly over affirmations because I think all of us are aware, but I wanted to bring up this brain study that was conducted. So instead of, I think most of us affirmations, what we are used to is either we say it loud or we read it or we play it in the background. So my suggestion to you, based on this experiment and based on a couple of workshops that I did and the testimonies that was shared by some of my clients, they say practicing all three, meaning writing, hearing, and then reading it silently, brought the manifestation faster. It worked faster for them. So it is something that probably all of us can try. All right. So the next thing we're going to look at is visualization. Now, visualization is very creative. Okay. So what is actually visualization? Visualization is like virtual reality, right? You create this world in your head. It could be, it's like daydreaming, right? You create all these wonderful experiences, wonderful emotions. Okay, so you give it all that drama in your head. Okay, you form that drama in your head. That means when you think of a thought, okay, you will begin to think of Yes, feeling is very important in visualization. So when you visualize, what you're seeking to do is you're seeking to establish a beautiful emotion inside of you. So when you visualize, it's usually because you want to feel good. You want to be able to, that experience feels good for you. All right. So there is something called the concept of virtual reality. So what happens in virtual reality is you form this whole picture in your head, right? You're so specific. Now, visualization, remember, it has to be very specific. You need to know where your setting is. Is it at the beach? Is it at a particular country? How is the weather? Is it raining? Is it a thunderstorm? Is it sunny? You know, who are you there with? Are you there with your friends? Are you there with someone you love? Or are you there with somebody that you wish was there with you? Visualize that person. Okay, so you need to be very specific. Why you need to do that is because when you have all these going on in the background, what happens is your feelings become, you form your feelings. You begin to, you will see it's beautiful the way it works, because then you will feel, if you play a sunny day, you will feel that heat. Oh, it's a sunny day. You need to feel it. You need to feel it. Okay. You need to really get into it, right? It's like you're directing your own movie, right? It has to be, visualization is like directing your own movie. You are the director. Okay. So you will decide how the movie is going to end. You will decide what is the setting of the movie. All right. So you need to do that. So that is the power of visualization. So when you do all this, what happens? Your thoughts, which is your visualization, whatever that you put into that movie, will vibrate at a higher, because you're beginning to feel it. When you feel it, it becomes in harmony. And what usually happens when it comes to harmony, it begins to happen. I mean, it begins to take place in your life. The experience comes into your life. Now, what you need to be very, very, very aware of is, are you focusing on the absence, or are you focusing on the actual attraction? Now, what flow in visualization, what happens is at times our mind goes haywire. What happens is we begin to, thoughts of absence try to violate your manifestation. Okay, thought of absence, like, I wish this person was there with me. No, you have to bring that person into your story. You have to bring that person into your experience, right? So you need to imagine. It's like daydreaming, it's like perfectly daydreaming. All right. So that will be the story of visualization. So remember, in visualization, Okay, say for example, there is a distinction, like I mentioned earlier, the universe does not know, okay, whether you are wanting $1 million or you're just having a thought of that $1 million. Okay, so it doesn't know. So it's up to you to create that pleasant scene. Okay, so visioning is like creating your own fantasy world. Okay, so and listen to this very, very carefully. Everybody can do visualization. It's not impossible. It's not rocket science. But what happens in the visualization process is, or rather I would say a mistake that happens in the visualized process, we stay there too long. We stay in that fantasy for too long. What happens when we stay too long? Reality hits. We begin to think, oh, is this possible? Oh, did that really happen? Is that going to really happen? So before, I always suggest when I teach actual visualization is I teach them, leave your movie when it still feels good. Deliberately leave, because you do not want rationalization to come into your visualization. Right? So then there will be no resistance, because when rationalization comes into your visualization, resistance happens. And what happens? It spoils your movie. And when it spoils your movie, vibration goes down. There's no vibration harmony. Everything goes to waste. Yeah. So, okay. So the next part is intention point setting. Okay, what is intention point setting? Is your point between your heart and your mind. So what I'm trying to say is, when you set an intention, you have to feel it. You have to really feel it. You know, it's like, yes, this is what I need right now. It is not something that you'd say, oh, if I have this, my neighbor is going to be very jealous of me. So I need to get this. If I drive a bigger car, I will be able to show off, you know, or if I were to have this particular experience in my life, then this particular thing will come. So when your heart and your mind, there's no connection, you can't do manifestation. There's no way you can do manifestation. Okay, so you're feeling what you're feeling, whatever you're thinking, it has to come from your heart. That means, you know, what is the purpose? Is it a want or is it a need? You need to differentiate it. And if it is a want, why do you want it? You need to ask yourself, why do you want it? You know, if it's a need, again, why do you need it? So it's very important to be specific. Okay, dream boarding. Now, what is dream boarding? I think every one of us have heard. It's a vision board. Okay, a lot of us put pictures. It's about vision board. So you can have you can draw your vision board, and you can put all the items that you love, you know, your favorite car, your favorite house, if you're going for a vacation, what you want, if you want a particular job, what you want, and all that goes on the vision board. And what happens? This vision board sits in a place where you can look at it daily. It could be on your computer screen, it could be up on your wall, it could be sitting in a place where you know that you will be able to look at it often. So it is something that you feed your mind every single day, that these are your desires and this is what you're manifesting. So when you look, your mind thinks in pictures. So when you look, your subconscious mind registers. When it registers, what you're doing, you're watering the garden. Every day you're watering the garden. So when you water the garden, what happens? Plants begins to sprout, and what happens? Your energy will change, because you're looking at it and say, that is my car. You know, your feelings change, your vibration change, works in a harmony, brings everything back to your experience. That's how it works. Yeah. Okay. Now I have something called the focus wheel. Now I'm gonna bypass that for a bit. I'm gonna go through the gratitude journal first. Now, what is gratitude journal? Write down as something that you're grateful for every day. you know, in a book. You can be in a book, or it can be in little post-it papers that you can put it up. I'm grateful for something, something, something. I'm grateful for being healthy. I'm grateful that my family is healthy. Find something every day. Find something that you will be thankful for. It's so important. Gratitude is so, so important. It's like that little magic dust that helps you manifest what you want. So you need to be thankful for what you've already been given before more can be given to you. That is the law, right? The universe makes sure that you are able to be thankful for what you already have before it brings more experiences to you. Next, living as if. Now, living as if, meaning, I mentioned it earlier, walk, talk like you've already there. For example, now if you want to be successful and you would like to be successful at work, you are looking forward to a promotion, walk, talk like you are already there. For example, if you are looking into getting promoted to a senior manager or whatsoever, dress, talk well, present yourself well. You have to live like as if it has come into your experience. So again, and the next thing will be connecting with an object. Now, many of us, we use crystals, right? I don't know if you believe in the power of crystals. I do. So I had to put this in, connecting with an object. So you can use certain crystals to manifest what you want. Now, I will not say there's magic in that crystal, but what happens is it is an object that you will connect to raise your vibration. It is not hocus pocus. It is not magic. But because our mind works in such a way that you have something that you can touch, you can feel, your brain connects better, and what happens? You get that vibration. You get the energy up. Your vibration increases, and you bring it to your manifestation. So you can use crystals, yeah. Or I have a client who just used rocks, right? He called it a gratitude stone. He just used rocks. All right, and it was just plain rocks collected from the seaside. So it's like, so you just connect with an object. I think a lot of our Hindu friends, they carry little religious ornaments and say, okay, this is for my protection. This is, if I carry this, I am protected. So you're connecting. Your faith is not on the object, but what is happening here is you're connecting. Right, you're connecting to it. You're finding something to represent the reality that you want to manifest. Okay, so next one. Okay, this is the focus wheel. I'll come back to that in a bit. Let's go back to, okay, now I want to briefly talk about the next manifestation technique you can do is called the 17-second rule. Now, what happens what is the 17-second rule is basically when you pay attention or when you focus on something for 17 seconds, okay, your focus becomes stronger and the vibration rises. Okay, so when your vibration rises, your thought will manifest. And it also says if you maintain it at 68 seconds, you come to a point of 0, where it's complete stillness. And that's when, or rather I would call it the point of pure thought. And that's when your manifestation begins. So if you want to manifest something, focus on it for 17 seconds. Even better if you can do it for 68 seconds. And doing this repetitively has been proven that it brings whatever that you want to manifest into existence. Yeah. Now, the next thing I would like to talk about is rampage of appreciation. Okay, I called this term rampage of appreciation is very much like gratitude, but your talk and your work and it goes together, meaning that you're appreciating everything consciously, on purpose, deliberately. Oh, this flower is so beautiful. Oh, you look amazing today. Looking at the neighbors, oh, it's a wonderful morning. How are you doing? So your talk changes. When your talk changes, what happens? When you go on a rampage of appreciating whatever that is in your surrounding, whatever that has come into your experience, what happens is you raise your vibration. Okay? So that is what I call the rampage of appreciation. So you should try this. You can try it every day. You can do rampage of appreciation every single day. Okay. Now let's go to magical creation box. Now this is by Abraham Hicks, the magical creation box. Now, what do we mean by magical creation box? Okay, what I'm trying to tell you is get a box. Literally get a box. Okay, get a box that it's beautiful, that you like, that looks nice. Okay, get a box. And when you get a box, you write on the box. Okay, you can write it as my dreams, or you can write it as my world, or whatever. And every day, for example, if you are going out and you see something that you desire, say for example a beautiful handbag, okay, you can go Google, find the picture of the handbag, put it into your magical creation box. So every day your magical creation box sits there like it is the magic box that's going to create all these beautiful things for you. Okay, so trust me, I've done this. And when you do this, without you knowing, your vibration changes. Your vibration changes. So try to do this. Okay, now let's look at the next one. We've done virtual reality, we've done daydreaming. Let's look at doubling money exercise. Now, what is doubling money exercise? I call it the prosperity game. Now, how do you do this? You deliberately create an imaginary checking account. Okay, it's imaginary, yeah? not a real checking account. It's an imaginary checking account. So you can use like a used checkbook, whatever, or you can have it on your PC or whatever it is. What you're going to do is you're going to write there, day one, $1,000, for example. Okay, so you've checked in $1,000. Now what are you going to do? You're going to spend it. All right. And you're going to write at the description box on the checkbook, what did you spend it on? Okay, have fun with this exercise, because when you do this, you will notice that, you play with your imagination. You go so you double it, right? 1,000, you spend it today. What are you going to spend it on? Next day, 2,000. Now I have 2,000. What am I going to spend it on? I want you to think every day as your money doubles, what are you going to spend it on? Don't save it, spend it. Okay, this is called doubling money exercise. Why am I asking you to spend it? Is because you are deliberately forcing yourself to feel good about having money. All right. So when you feel that see, when I come up to you plainly and I say, if I were to give you $100, what would you do with it? And then you go like, I don't know. Or maybe I'll keep 50 and I'll spend 50 for something else. See, you're not feeling it. Okay. So do this. Play with your imagination. Your imagination is just wonderful. It is a perfect place for you to start to manifest what you want. All right. So first, create an imaginary checking account. I challenge you to do this, okay, because it works. All right. Create an imaginary checking account every day. Put in an amount. All right. You have $1,000 today. Think about how you're going to spend it. Write it down. Handbag. I bought a handbag, or I bought shoes, or whatever, right? 2,000, spend it. 3,000, spend it. Go on for 30 over days. See how much you have, and you will feel good about having money, and you will feel good that you have achieved a point where you have so much money that you can spend. So you can see that when you feel good, what happens again? When you feel good about money, what happens? Money comes to you. So the universe will ask you a question. If I were to give you money and you do not know how to spend it, why should I give you money? So you need to know how to spend your money. Yeah, whether wisely, of course, wisely, but you need to spend your money. If the universe has blessed you and if you're not going to use it, then it's like, what's the point of me blessing you? So this exercise is going to teach you that. It's going to create that imaginary feel of how it feels like to deliberately spend money. When you have money, what do you do? All right, next, go on. Okay. Finally, when you're done with all this, when you're done with all these manifestation techniques that I've told you, what happens is you need to come to a point of total surrender. This is where I call it the art of allowing. When you have put a thought out there, and you have the correct emotions, and it's vibrating, and then suddenly you begin to think about your reality. Oh, is this possible? Is it possible now? Or how am I going to achieve this? I'm not being paid enough. I'm not being given enough. I don't have the necessary skills or talents to get there. Now, what I want you to do is, when you have learned all these techniques, when you've done affirmations, you've done the 17-second rule, you have done your magical box, you have tried all these things, but nothing is happening because you've not reached here. Sweet surrender. Now, I'm not asking you to surrender to some external dominating deity. It's not that. When you surrender, you move to a next stage of evolution, which means you move to channel consciousness. This is what I was just talking about earlier. It's basically when you come to a point, when you learn the art of allowing, meaning you let things go. You have said it. It's like going to your dad and saying, Dad, I need a box of crayons for next week for school. And your dad says, yeah, okay. And what does the child do? The child doesn't question it. Are you sure you're going to get it for me? Are you sure you know what right colors I want? Are you sure? Do I want small, medium, large? No, the child just goes away. Hoping, or rather having the faith that the box of crayons is going to come to him. That is what I call the art of allowing. Sweet surrender. You need to surrender before you can move to a point of channel consciousness. Now, channel consciousness, what does it say? I'm not going to go very much in detail, but I just wanted to let you know that this exists, something called channel consciousness. It's basically saying, I'm available to what wants to evolve and emerge through me. I am willing to practice and embody what it takes for this to happen. Right? So that means you are literally letting go. You need to get here. Because if you're manifesting and you're going to hold on, like earlier, doubts, I don't think I'm going to get there, whatever. You're not allowing. This is where the biggest fallout happens. You do everything right and you don't do this. When you don't do this, this is where you fail. The law of attraction works for some. The law of attraction doesn't work for some of us. Why? Not because it's biased, not because the law is biased, not because the law is showing favoritism. No, the law is available for everybody. But our fallout happens here. Because it's not when we ask and then we doubt. When we affirm and then we are like, we're speaking negative words. When I said, oh, I need this, da 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 da. Right? Okay. So and then you at the back of your head you go like, I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. Oh, I need a new set of tires for my cars. And then you go and you go say, I am your affirmation says, I am thankful I have 4 brand new tires for my cars. And then you walk away and then you say, nah, where's that gonna come from? No, I don't think so. Where's the money going to come from? Right? So you have not come to sweet surrender. So when you don't come to sweet surrender, a fallout happens. Yeah. So we need to get here. So remember, there are 3 steps to creation. You ask, whatever you ask, the universe answers. Okay. But in order for the the universe answers, the universe doesn't say no. But why it doesn't come into your manifestation, or rather why it doesn't come into your experience? Because you do not know how to allow it in. So you need to, you have already done the asking, and the universe is going to answer. The universe always answers. Okay, it's always a yes. The universe always answers, but you need to allow it in. Okay, so how do you allow it in? By the way you feel. Yes, surrender is the most difficult part. That is where most of our fallouts happen, the surrender part. But the good news for you is surrender is a matter of choice. Okay, so you have to program yourself in such a way that you choose to surrender. You need to choose to surrender. You need to make that deliberate decision to surrender. And when you do all these things, the way you feel, now, like I said, you allow it in, the allowing, again, you go back to your emotional guidance system. You need to go back to your emotional guidance system. You need to be aware of how you feel. It's very important, because if you're not feeling right, you're not going to allow it. Okay, so you need to feel good about it. So that's your asking, or rather whatever that you're asking, does it make you feel energized? Does it make you feel happy, joyful? Good, because that's going to provide you with the correct emotions vibrating together. Boom, there you go. Right? Okay, so I'm good. Quickly, how long more do we have, Srinivas? Srinivas? Hello? How long do we have? I can't hear you. Okay, go on. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to quickly run through a concept coiled by Ken Honda. Okay, Ken Honda. Now, Ken Honda came up with this concept of happy money, unhappy money. Okay, it basically means it doesn't mean that your money has a happy face or a sad face. It basically means that whatever energy that you give your money, whether you give it or whether you receive it, okay, it's whether it will be whether it's happy money or unhappy money. So if you want money to flow freely to you, always remember you have to be your energy or your flow has to be right. Meaning you need to choose to be grateful, whether you receive or you give. Happy money and unhappy money. Please check out Ken Honda. Ken Honda is the person who called this term happy money and unhappy money. I just wanted to bring this up for you to go check it out on your own. So it is a very interesting concept, which I think a lot of you will be very interested in. So please check out Ken Honda on happy money and unhappy money. All right, so I'm just going to skip that part. Let's go. Okay, so where are you now? You need to realize, where are you now and where do you want to be? All right, so if where are you now, if you're happy, you're this thing, you got no needs anymore, fine, I'm not talking to you, right? But I'm talking to those who want to go somewhere, who want to be better, who want their life to improve, who wants their life to be what they want it to be. All right, so what you do good, spread joy. All right, be happy. Okay, spread a lot of joy, do good, do charity, do things like this, right? Avoid negative talk, avoid gossip, avoid hurting animals, connect with nature. All right, respect Mother Earth and keep your environment healthy and positive. These might look like trivial things, but it is not. These are the things that you do that will get you to at manifested consciousness, the stage of manifested consciousness, in order to bring whatever you want to manifest into your experience. These are little things that, see, it's no point of you being all positive, wanting to manifest everything into your life, and then you hurt animals. You know, you kick a dog on the street, or you know, you don't connect with nature, you waste water, right? And you don't respect Mother Earth, right? You cut down trees, and these are things that probably you might not have heard from other coaches, but I believe in this because these little things shapes you as a person. It gives you, it brings you good energy. You will vibrate at a level where good energy vibrates, right? You're vibrating very good energy when you do things right. Okay, so these are things that okay. So I'm going to quickly run over this, but I think this is very important. So bear with me. 9 important secrets that you need to know before you manifest. Okay, number 1, know what you want and why you want it. Also remember, do not get disappointed because there is something called divine timing. Sometimes you don't get what you want at that particular time because there is something called divine timing. All right, you will manifest by believing. You know that it is possible and you're confident that you will get it. Okay, and so it is important. Now, never ever. So for example, don't give up on your dreams. If you have a particular dream, it doesn't make sense to anybody out there, it's okay. Don't give up on it. All right, it's perfectly all right. It doesn't have to make sense to everybody out there as long as it makes sense to you. If your environment is not supportive of that dream, remove yourself from the environment. Okay, no, say no. I reiterate that. Say no to pretense. When it comes to this, say no to pretense. Remove yourself from that toxic environment. 3, okay, ask yourself why you haven't got what you need. Be brutally honest about yourself. Maybe you don't have the skill. You can't be the president of the United States because you're Indian, you're Malaysian, you're Singaporean. You can't be the president of the United States. So be brutally honest. Okay, don't have unrealistic expectations. You need to know if you have the sufficient willpower to do it. Okay, for example, you know, if you don't have a particular strength, for example, if you want to be a bodybuilder and you say, oh, I'm going to be a bodybuilder, I want to manifest to be a bodybuilder, but you're 70 years old and you don't have the willpower to be a bodybuilder, that is unrealistic. So you're going to be fairly, you're going to be disappointed. So always remember, if your life is in a mess, it's okay. It's okay if life is in a mess. Acknowledge the mistake, learn from it, move on. That's what I will suggest you to do. All right. What if nothing works for me? For example, if all you have done, everything goes wrong. right? That means you've been good to Mother Nature. You've done every single thing right, for example. But still things go wrong. I'm also a spiritual coach. So I would say that that will be a case of bad energy. Deal with it. So deal with it, practice whatever you feel comfortable with, whether it's meditation or, you know, of course, certain cultures have certain things that they do to get rid of this bad energy. Please do it, but you got to deal with it. Okay, declutter, raise your vibrations, be patient, focus, see the big picture. Don't expect success to manifest in days. It doesn't happen. It may take time because your energy field need to clear. For example, you've been depressed for so long. For example, it depletes your energy. How are you going to manifest something today after that? Oh, Kavita said this, I'm going to do it. But your energy field is so low because you've been so low for such a long time. So work on raising your vibration first. Don't immediately go into manifestation. Do meditation, recite mantras. Build yourself slowly before you go and practice all these things that I told you. Because you need to concentrate on the present living, and adopt healthy habits before you can get the universe to work for you. This is the reality that I need to bring up to you. Yeah. And the last one will be decluttering. If your house is cluttered, please clean it, because a house that is cluttered does not bring in good energy. And if you live in that environment, manifestation becomes a struggle. This is the truth. So declutter. Declutter not only your space, declutter yourself, meaning people that you associate with. People, create that breathing space for yourself. Surround yourself with positive-minded people. Always be careful who you surround, because they can be what I call energy vampires. When you have energy vampires around you, no manifestation is going to work, trust me. Because you're going to be like a roller coaster. At one point you're up there, and then the next minute you're down there. Okay, it's not because of you. At times it's not because of you. It's because you've surrounded yourself with what I call as energy vampires. So you need to be very conscious about this. So declutter. One intention at a time. Do not, if you're new to manifestation, one intention at a time, please, because you're going to get very confused. You're going to confuse the universe of what you want. Of course, the universe already knows what you want, but the intent has to come from you. So when your intent is not flowing smoothly, manifestation gets disrupted. So one intention at a time. I would suggest, I have certain techniques that people have used, is 555, where you write for 5 days, the affirmations, you write it for 5 days, 55 times. 55 times in one sitting for 5 days. All right, this is the most powerful technique that I encountered in my personal life. I have tried 16, I have tried 369, but what that I personally have a very close belief, or rather very close attachment to, and I believe, is the 555. That means you have intentions that you write, usually one single intention or two. You will write it 55 times, 5 days in a row, same time every day, without breaking the chain. If you break the chain, you got to go back again and do it all over again. Okay, so again, as I mentioned earlier, always know what you really need. There's always a discrepancy between want and need. There's always an imbalance. Okay, for example, after you break up with your girlfriend, immediately you try to attract a loving relationship, right? At times it might not happen, because what you may need at that point in time is some breathing space. So don't blindly want something, or don't blindly send a request. Know what you want. Your want and your need needs to be at a balance. If there is an imbalance, you need to consciously change it. Okay, and finally, open to new ways of thinking. Replace self-limiting thoughts. Okay, true positive thinking isn't about saying, everybody tells you, right? Be positive, be positive. Okay, true positive thinking is not about saying, I'll be okay, I'm fine. You're like saying it, right? I'll be okay, I'm fine, I'm strong, no problem at all. Oh, I'm good, I'm happy, I'm joyful. And then secretly dreading at the back, secretly dreading failure, secretly being scared of the outcome. So my suggestion will be genuine. Okay, you have to be genuine. Like I said, you can't fool the universe. You can't fool your subconscious mind. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, attracting abundance, happiness. Like I said, you need to move from victim consciousness into manifestor consciousness. Because when you're victim consciousness, you're constantly anxious. You're constantly worried about what's going to happen. But at at manifestor consciousness, what happens? You're less anxious about the future. You're less fearful of the unexpected. Okay, so abundance moves in pretty easily. Okay, so when you do your doubling money exercise, okay, when you do that, you will flow smoothly. You will know, if you're in victim consciousness and you're doing the doubling money exercise, you'll be constantly thinking, oh, I did this, why hasn't any money come in yet? Oh, I did this, why isn't anything happening to me yet? Oh, you know what, Kavita didn't say the right thing. I don't think this thing works. So you are operating at victim consciousness. But when you operate at manifestor consciousness, you will understand that it takes time. You will understand that emotions, whatever you're feeling and whatever you're doing, has to be together. It has to be in harmony. Only then you can manifest anything coming to your way. Okay, so homework, or rather, all right. Now what I've said, take a moment to look out of your window and appreciate whatever you see of the natural world. If it's just the sky, look at that. Please do this, yeah. If there are trees against the sky or a few plants on the ground, look at that. If you have a beautiful view of water, sky, greenery, soak in it. Consider yourself blessed, all right? When you're finished doing that, close your eyes, set an intention, feel that the nature is working. The greatest energy is from Mother Earth. Feel that nature is working for your own good, bringing everything into balance for you. Create some way to remind yourself about intention every day. Make it the first thing to do as you wake up. It can be anything. It could be a picture. It could be an object. It could be just a post-it with words on it. Always try to create some way to remind yourself. And always, always, always connect to nature. I'm sure a lot of law of attraction coaches might not have told you this, but law of attraction only works if your energy is right. And it is in line with your true nature. And what is your true nature? We are very much connected to nature, right? So finally, I think one last thing I want to say is, I know times are bad. I know it's chaotic everywhere. What I want you to do is enjoy life at your own definition, meaning that find what turns you on, for example, right? Do things you enjoy. Make a deliberate effort to live a life that suits you, not other people's lives. Make a deliberate effort to, if going out and getting a bucket of ice cream makes you happy, do it. If just walking, like what I do is, sometimes in the morning, I feel like walking barefoot in the grass. I just take off my shoes and I walk. It makes me feel good. Do it. Don't blindly follow trends. Okay, don't blindly follow. And please, 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 please connect with nature. What I do every morning, and I encourage my children to do, which it is a bit of a challenge to get these kids to do it, but what I tell them to do is soil therapy. Just digging your hands into a pot of soil. I live in a condo, so I have to have pots of sand, and just dipping your hands and your feet onto soil is therapy. You're connecting with nature. We need to connect with nature. When you connect with nature, it works miracles. So don't ignore nature. Every morning, get up, look at the sky. Yoga teaches Surya Namaskar. It's connecting with nature. You're acknowledging the power of the sun, right? You're acknowledging creation itself. Respect every creation: water, plant, sky, sand, animals, fellow human beings. Respect them. Treat everyone like they are a special creation of God Almighty. When you do that, what happens is you will feel good. When you feel good, what happens? Your vibration changes, your energy changes. When you feel good, your energy becomes high. You vibrate at a higher level. You vibrate at manifested consciousness. When you vibrate at manifested consciousness, the law of attraction works for you easily. Okay, abundance flows easily, happiness flows easily, everything that you want will flow easily, but you need to do what it takes to get there. With this, I thank you. I thank you for your time. Did I take too long? So I am done for today. So always pray. Don't forget prayers. Prayers is very, very important to acknowledge that there is always a higher power above us who is looking at us and who's helping us through these difficult times. But if anyone would want to ask questions, please do so. I'm right here. Srinivas, back to you. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to me. I really appreciate Srinivas for giving me this opportunity to be on this platform. I mean, I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Srinivas. It has been a pleasure, and it's been a pleasure meeting all of you. I mean, I can't see all of you, but yes, it has been a pleasure. Peace and blessings to every one of you. I wish you all the best. All the greatest blessings be upon you. I thank you. Srinivas, back to you. Back to you, Srinivas.
Thank you very much, Kavita.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome. So are we taking questions? I could take questions.
Kavita, hi, Kavita.
Hi.
Hi, this is Darshini, and thank you very much. I think this is my very second session from the time I have joined this group. I could not join sessions with Srinivas, but I'm so thankful to him for having the session, as well as so thankful to you. I really believe right now that something really worked to get me here, because I was extremely occupied these days, but somehow I just checked the message and I joined here, and it was a lovely session.
Thank you.
And great conviction, because the way you were explaining, it was not only for kind of manifesting our objectives, which are very material, rather being very happy and living a sort of virtuous and positive life. So yes, it's a complete win-win thing. And just one small thing, Kavita, my question is, so I have learned about this concept of manifestation and heard these things very recently, and I found them very true. But I had these experiences from very school times. And I can relate with one of the experiences. Like my friend's father has been to Europe. He came back. He told about Pisa, Eiffel Tower, Venice, etc., etc. I heard these stories, and all the while I was listening to those stories, I was in awe. Like, how is the leaning tower of Pisa leaning? How the Venice is flooded with water and stuff. And all the time, my mind was telling me how. And oh my God, is it true? Does that really happen and stuff? And you won't believe. And as you said, the divine timing and stuff.
Yes.
Somebody said that they belong to some family with struggles and etc. I had a similar background, but somewhere I knew that the things cannot go wrong all the time. It's definitely going to change someday. And when they'll change, they'll be the best. I said the same thing about my husband, that I'm going to be married to somebody wonderful. I cannot compromise on that. And it worked. And same thing with all the places that I've thought way back in my school days, they came true like magic. I've been to every place that person has told me stories about, and I was all the time not happy about going to those places and proud of those. Rather, it was just in awe of how universe works. Something that was seeded 10, 20 years back or 15 years back that happened now.